And one of the things that I'm particularly concerned with is, I guess, the changes that we have with our current generation of young people. And if there's any message that you get from hearing about the Resilience Donut over this next 45 minutes, I would hope that you have got that we need to help our young people to learn how to connect. That connections are really what makes a difference with both their development morally, both their development socially, and their development cognitively. They need to know how to connect with others. Now, in the middle of that donut, you have three phrases that say, I have, I am, and I can. They refer to what you carry in yourself. I have people around me that help me to cope. I have a job, I have a house, I am a good person, I am a mother, I am a sister, I'm a brother, I'm a cousin. I can do things to change my circumstances. I can work harder, I can run fast, I can steal. I can do things to get people's attention. One of the key factors in this whole debate about resilience is not about how we build the skills, but rather how do we strengthen the connections, and what is the formula for strengthening those connections, particularly at a time when the young people are not connecting like they used to.
The fundamental question about meditation, which is it more than a placebo effect? That is really the big question about meditation. Now, the meditation research program was initially based at the Royal Hospital for Women, where it was more or less seen as a natural therapy, an alternative medicine. The fact that it's shifted now to the Department of Psychiatry at Sydney University, I think signals a shift in the way that it's perceived. Personally, I feel that meditation is better understood as a universal primary mental health prevention strategy. In the East, we have a several thousand-year-old traditional understanding in which we understand ourselves as not our bodies, not our clothing, not our bank account, not our career, but in fact something beyond all of those things, not even our mind or our thoughts, but as something else. The biggest gap here is the one that was really interesting, is in mental health. Meditation as an intervention. We took 178 people. It's the world's largest randomised controlled trial of meditation for occupational stress. And we randomly divided them into three groups, assessing the before and after. One group learnt the mental silence approach, one group learnt a non-mental silence approach to meditation, basically a relaxation program. After 8 weeks, we reassessed them. This is the result. This is the non-treatment group. This is the ABC meditation technique, which I don't recommend anymore. And this is the meditation technique that focused on mental silence. This is the improvement that they got in occupational stress. You can see here that the people learning mental silence, the mental silence approach, experienced a 26% improvement in 8 weeks in their stress levels, about 13% in the non-mental silence approach. This is in fact a typical placebo response. Everything above that line is more than placebo, and this is what happens if you do nothing at all.
Okay, now if you just close your eyes, it'll help. Now, here we just ask inside ourselves a simple question, half a dozen times or more, or however many times you feel appropriate. Please give me the pure knowledge. Please give me the pure knowledge. Here we affirm 12 times, I am myself. I am myself, not the body, not the mind, not the feelings, not the thoughts. I am myself. Please let me know my true self. 7 times. Please let me know my true self. I'd just like to see a show of hands. Please don't be shy. Who feels calmer than they did before? Who found that their thoughts slowed down significantly? Okay, and here's the big one that we're going for. Who actually experienced, even if it was just for a fraction of a second, mental silence? Well done.
What are we talking about? We're talking about whole school bullying. In other words, don't just focus on kids being bullied, because I assure you, it's happening everywhere else. So you have to always go back to the groups that the kids are mixing in, whether it's the school or the local community. Now, usually we look at bullying as occurring over a period of time, let's say a few months, something like that. It can happen regularly or sporadically. But there are times, for example, as Susan will tell you, when you are exposed on MySpace or Facebook in a way that you don't want to be remembered, that can be enough to be considered as bullying because the impact is continuing. First order change, the child says there's no bullying, kids are nice to me and I've got more friends. Second order change, mum will tell you they're happier, they're friendlier to the family, believe it or not. They get on better with mum and dad's friends and the wider family, grandma, and their grades improve. And for you as a school, it's less stressful and the school is more successful. So thank you very much.
Who would call their social networking site their primary form of socialisation? Young people do. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's about balance and being mindful of what children do online. It is not uncommon for me to find children in grade 2 on Facebook. As my 17-year-old son says, what could be so socially important in the life of an 8-year-old that they need Facebook? And of course, that gets down to some very serious parenting issues about parents that are too interested in being their child's best friend rather than their parent. It can occur through any medium that is technology-based. One of the things that you must understand, that cyberbullying in every state and territory in Australia is a criminal offence. Now, you don't find the words cyberbullying in legislation.